Breaking on 4 News Now, a push to delay demolition of the house where 4 University of Idaho students were killed. Why the family of one of those victims says it's too early to tear down the house.
And I'm tracking rain making its way into our area right now. I'll show you how long this one's expected to stick around in your First Alert forecast.
Washington will soon have the highest state minimum wage in the country. Why one woman says it's a welcome pay raise and the effects increased pay is already having in different parts of the country. You're watching 4 News Now at 6. And we begin with some breaking news here. The family of one of the 4 University of Idaho murder victims is not happy that the house where their child was killed is being torn down tomorrow. We broke this story first on KXLY Plus. Thanks for joining us. I'm Derek Dice. The Gonzalez family released a statement that reads, in part, we all along have just wanted the King Road home to not be demolished until after the trial, and for us to have a trial date so that we can look forward to justice being served. You can read the full Gonzalez family statement on our website at KXLY.com. Now, Kaylee Gonzalez was killed along with her friends Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin. For more than a year now, this home has served as a constant reminder of their deaths, not only to the victims' families, but the entire Moscow community. So there's understandably mixed reaction to the house being torn down, with some saying they're glad to see it go, while others agree with Gonzalez family that it's still too soon. Marissa Rio was in Moscow today and has more.
At this time tomorrow, the home behind me will no longer be standing. I spoke to a few people who live in this area, and while most think that the demolition is a good idea, one woman said she's worried that there's still evidence that remains inside.
So it really is just that constant reminder of the horrific crime that happened there.
1122 King Road, an address that's nationally known. The story this home tells will haunt the Moscow community forever.
Everywhere that we've lived, we've never been that close to a crime that violent before. So it was really a feeling of shock and sadness.
Campus was quiet today. It's winter break for the university, so most students are away for the holidays. But that's what makes now a perfect time to demolish the home.
While we will certainly never forget what happened there, or more importantly, the students that we lost that day, it is important to the healing of our community to go ahead and demolish that house and get rid of that daily reminder.
Over the past few weeks, prosecutors and members of the defense team have been in and out of the house to take measurements. After tomorrow, a new page will be turned.
So this really allows us to turn our full focus onto our healing garden. And that is just an incredibly powerful student-driven project.
The Healing Garden will be made in memory of all vandals the university has lost. There will be a section dedicated to the 4 students who were killed. It is not clear what will be made of the King Road property.
The house should be down in one day, and then the crews will come back in a couple of weeks and grade that property and plant it back to grass.
One man that lives on the hill just above King Road says he'll be glad when this is all over.
The house is just a piece of physical evidence, and as long as the prosecution and the defense no longer need it to be physical evidence, they can take it down.
The university says this is just the next step in the community's healing process.
We'll be live streaming the demolition tomorrow starting at 7 a.m. on KXLY Plus. Reporting in Moscow, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
Now, this isn't the first time a house where tragic murders took place is being demolished in Idaho. Back in 2008, the Idaho Transportation Department tore down the home where 3 people were murdered in Wolf Lodge Bay. Take a look at this video. It was 3 years after the murders of Brenda Groney, Mark McKenzie, and Brenda's son Slade by convicted killer Joseph Duncan. Duncan also kidnapped Brenda's 2 youngest children, Dylan and Shasta, from that home. He took them to the remote campsite in western Montana where he killed Dylan. Weeks later, he showed up with Shasta at the Denny's in Coeur d'Alene where he was arrested. Duncan was sentenced to death in 2008 and died on death row in March of 2021. The property where the home once stood is now a wetland. Well, it's the last full week of the year, but it sure doesn't feel like it. Matt, will be seeing any real winter weather anytime soon?
Depends on what you define as real winter weather. There is a chance for a couple places to see a little snow tonight. But just a little snow, a dusting, a brief visit from winter weather is about all we can expect in the days to come. And we're not really going to be seeing that many notable weather systems either. And in fact, this is going to be the most notable one likely here for the next week. So plenty of rain, as you can see here on our live Doppler radar, sweeping across the inland northwest. Let's take a look to where we could be seeing a little bit of snow sooner rather than later, and that is in the Colville area, where temperatures have remained below freezing. Colville, Kettle Falls, all the way into the Chewelah and Valley areas. And so this is where I'm looking for this section of Highway 395 in Stevens County, as this moisture continues to track to the east, for us to see a little bit of light snow. There is potential here then it will flip over to some rain or some wintry mix, as after all, this is transporting lots of warmer air up from the south along with it. But something to keep in mind if you have some plans for this evening in Stevens County. Further south, well, it's already pretty warm and it is all rain. We've got some heavier rain actually pushing through the Colfax area right now. You're likely going to start to see some light sprinkles around Pullman here shortly, if you have not already. And I'm keeping an eye on this particular area in the Palouse region, because the way that this kind of weather system's moving, this is where we're actually going to see moisture later tonight in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. That's where it's going to come from. This is all going to be during the 7 o'clock hour for places like Deer Park, Spokane, and Coeur d'Alene, while all of this moisture that looks a lot closer is actually going to be tracking up north into our northern mountains and Canada. So this is not going to be with us for long. And then when we get to tomorrow, we're talking about some warm temperatures. I'll show you how warm coming up.
All right, Matt, thank you. Here now is a live look at where Mayor-elect Lisa Brown is currently being sworn in at the Central Library in downtown Spokane. Let's take a listen.
Please go to betterspokane.com and give your suggestions or view boards and commissions you might want to be part of, or job openings in the city. We're not just going to talk about our challenges, however, and our problems, which we have. Let's talk about the things that we love about this place and this city, the things we know are good. We want them to be better as well. Our libraries, our parks, our schools, move over Portland and Seattle, our coffee, our craft brew, our creatives, our entrepreneurs, our small businesses. We have a lot, and we don't want to take it for granted. We want to build on it. We've got amazing education here. Our school system, all the way from preschool up to medical schools. And we have unparalleled opportunities for everyone. And we've just got to figure out how to make sure that everyone here can get on those pathways to those opportunities. Our economy has a lot of promise. We have opportunity for increased manufacturing jobs. We have health science, research, and education that's happening. Clean energy breakthroughs are happening here in Spokane. We have an unparalleled opportunity in our creative economy. So it's not just about taking on the challenges, it's also about building on what's good.
And that is the swearing-in ceremony for Mayor-elect Lisa Brown. Don't forget, you can watch that on the KXLY Plus streaming app right now. We'll give you a complete breakdown tonight on Nightside at 11 o'clock. Brown will officially take over for Mayor Nadine Woodward on Monday. Well, a man is now facing vehicular assault charges following an early morning crash in northwest Spokane that left his passenger seriously hurt. Sheriff's deputies say it happened a little after 1 a.m. on Government Way. There were slick and icy road conditions in the area at that time. Investigators say one of the drivers, John Swinger, was likely under the influence of drugs or alcohol. He was arrested after his passenger and the driver of a different car were taken to the hospital. He also faces charges related to the crash, including forgery and identity theft. Still ahead here, we've received multiple calls about this sheen in the Spokane River. What the Department of Ecology says it's doing about it. Next on 4 News Now at 6.
Connect with 4 News Now on KXLY Plus.
Save your green! The all-new Bet Ahead feature is now live at Caesars Sportsbook, located inside Spokane Tribe Casino. Make your picks online from anywhere before you place your cash bets. Only at Spokane Tribe Casino. You just win here.
Whatever the holidays mean to you, get the most out of them in a new Honda. Whether it's taking in the lights with all your friends in a spacious Accord, or taking in a snow day in a rugged CR-V. Your holiday adventure awaits with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
$3 pitcher night. A couple cocktails. An edible. And a nature documentary. What do all these people have in common? A friend like you, who offered a ride, or made sure they got in a ride share, or provided a couch to crash on. Thanks for keeping the roads a little safer tonight, Washington. Together, we get
The all-new Bet Ahead feature is now live at Caesars Sportsbook, located inside Spokane Tribe Casino. Make your picks online from anywhere before you place your cash bets. Only at Spokane Tribe Casino. You just win here.
Master of Disguise, next Inside Edition. He was suspected of killing his girlfriend, but kept changing his look to avoid capture. After a year-long manhunt, how cops finally nabbed him.
Get on your knees right there.
And the dead woman's father actually caught the arrest on video.
But it's unbelievable.
Then, a bride's embarrassing walk down the aisle.
Oh my God.
Next Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
Cardiac arrest is a leading cause of death in the United States, especially for those who are Asian American and Pacific Islander. But there are steps you can take if you encounter a person experiencing a heart attack. Natalie Grant explains what you can do.
According to the American Heart Association, about 90% of people who suffer a cardiac arrest outside of a hospital setting do not survive it. If you go into cardiac arrest in public, bystander CPR significantly increases your chances of survival. However, not everyone has the privilege of learning how to perform CPR, especially those from a marginalized background. The American Heart Association adds that only 26% of Asian American, and Pacific Islander individuals say they can confidently perform CPR because they never properly learned. 46% claim they are likely to perform CPR, while 69% are hesitant to perform hands-only CPR because they're worried they will hurt that person. It's crucial that bystander CPR is taught among minority communities so that people who suffer cardiac arrests have a better chance of survival. Not only will it lead to more lives saved, but it will also help close the inequity gap. Free CPR classes are available in many communities. It's an easy way to help keep your neighbors safe. Natalie Grant, 4 News Now.
We've heard from several people about some type of sheen on the Spokane River, so we asked the Washington Department of Ecology for answers. It's investigating a sheen found in Millwood on Tuesday, just downriver of the Inland Empire Paper Company. That was about 20 yards wide, very light, and had no odor. No obvious source point was available, so the DOE took a sample of that water to help pin down the source. In another survey today, little to no sheen was seen in that area. We'll be sure to keep you updated as the story develops.
And we are watching rain and perhaps even a few areas of snow or wintry mix develop across the inland northwest tonight. Either way, we're likely going to lead this to icy spots in the morning as temperatures fall below freezing in some areas that see rain this evening. Otherwise, the story is really all about warm temperatures as we close out 2023 in your extended forecast after this.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Spokane Wedding Expo is January 6th. For tickets, visit SpokaneWeddingExpo.com.
It's back. 4 big days, January 25th to the 28th at the Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. New dealers, new boats, new floor layout. Go to SpokaneBoatShow.com.
Have you been looking for the perfect pre-owned vehicle and wondered, where have all the used cars gone?
At Coeur d'Alene Honda, we have the best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Whether you're looking for a Toyota, Subaru, Ford, or maybe that perfect Honda.
Every pre-owned vehicle is quality inspected and ready for you to take home today.
We work with local lenders to get you the rate you deserve. Inventory changes daily, so come see us at Coeur d'Alene Honda or visit us on our website at cdahonda.com.
Hello, I'm Diamond Dan Clark.
And I'm Jeweler Jane.
And we're from Clark's Diamond Jewelers in beautiful downtown Coeur d'Alene.
Our famous snow promotion is back for Christmas.
If it snows 4 inches or more in 24 hours on January 11th, 2024, all purchases made between November 21st and December 30th will be refunded in full. And that means all engagement rings, loose diamonds and gemstones, jewelry and gifts could all be free.
Shop Clark's Diamond Jewelers this Christmas and let it snow diamonds.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on our next job. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. Our thanks to Horizon Credit Union for sponsoring the 4 News Now Extreme Team.
The holidays inspire us all to connect. With family, with friends, no matter what the road throws at you. So find the connection you're looking for this winter in a new SUV with standard all-wheel drive during the Mazda Season of Inspiration sales event.
Right now at Foothills Mazda, get 0% financing for 5 years and 0 down payment with approved credit on the all-wheel drive Mazda CX-5. Shop now at SpokaneMazda.com.
Boats of all types and sizes, heavy metal and smaller fishing boats, open bow, high-performance ski and wakeboard boats, pontoons, and personal watercraft. Learn more at SpokaneBoatShow.com.
It's over the top of me now. Stop it!
Wow, that was an American Airlines pilot showing off their skills, successfully landing at an airport in London while battling strong winds you can see are constantly pushing the plane off course. I wonder what all those passengers were thinking as they were getting set to land there.
Clutching the armrest.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, thankfully no winds. Right, but thankfully no winds like that right now here in the Northwest.
No, nothing like that. We're definitely seeing some milder weather, but hey, mild has been the operative word here so far in December. On track to have the 14th warmest on record in 143-year record now here as we wrap up 2023. So I don't think with our extended forecast we're going to have those numbers change much at all, but I'll show you that coming up. We got a chance for a little bit of snow here in the Colville area. So far, things have stayed quiet, but you can see not that far away, the snow still coming down on Sherman Pass. Now, further south, where we are in much warmer air, places like Spokane, places even like Deer Park, we're talking about rain for this evening, or a wintry mix at coolest as these showers track across the area. Getting a little bit closer now, and as we head into the 7 o'clock hour around Spokane County, I expect at least a few showers to start getting themselves going. But you can see here with our temperatures, I mean, look at Ritzville behind the bulk of the rain now. 38 degrees. We're in the 40s right now in Lewiston, and we're only at 36 in Spokane. And we basically, once the sun gone down, we have just kind of sat in that spot here now for a little while. We'll be watching, as well as this makes its way into North Idaho, some of this rain, if we do see a little bit of wintry mix in some of those cooler areas. But for the metro, I expect really nothing but rain here as we head over the next few hours. Things will be wrapped up likely before midnight, but midnight at latest, and we will then settle in for a mild night by December standards. So I do want to show you this in our hour-by-hour forecast, and you can see, especially across Bonner and Boundary counties would look for some potential for some wintry mix here as temperatures are going to slowly cool throughout the night, of course. By the time we get to 11 o'clock, as I mentioned, actually going to see some clearing skies in many parts of eastern Washington by the time we get to there. Let's see if we can, well, I'm not sure what's going on. I am trying to advance. You see, I'm pressing the button. Tell you what, let's take it full screen so we can keep this train rolling here. Unfortunately, you're just going to have to listen to my voice as opposed to also seeing my face, and we will keep this going. So let's fast forward in the animation. We'll actually have a pretty decent chance, I think, at some sunshine for your Thursday. By Thursday evening, though, we'll start to see the clouds start to roll back in, and that will be perhaps some implications for Saturday. But for tomorrow morning, getting up, heading out for a drive, heading to work, it will be right around freezing around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, and so some of the rain that we get tonight may lead to some icy spots in some of those side roads and sidewalks that do not get treated by those hard-working road crews overnight. And then look what happens here tomorrow afternoon. Look at this. I mean, it's going to feel like fall out there. We're talking about mid-40s in the afternoon, low 40s as you head up to some of the higher benches and north of Interstate 90. And let me zoom out here a little bit more so I can show you some even warmer temperatures. Look at Lewiston. 50 degrees tomorrow. Will be in the middle and upper 40s across many parts of the Palouse. So it is going to be a very strange, not December-like day. But I tell you what, if we do get some of that sunshine to come out, I don't think anybody is going to be complaining at all. In your extended outlook, we are going to be, well, kind of in this weird in-between space where we've got a storm that we're experiencing a little bit of right now, headed off to the north. The next system coming in as we get closer to the New Year holiday is going to be tracking well south of us, and that means we basically get the leftover scraps, which actually probably is pretty good for your plans here, although we will have a small chance as we're getting up in the morning on Sunday for a little bit of rain. Same with us going to bed on Saturday night. But that is about it. As far as your extended forecast goes, it is going to be pretty quiet and pretty warm around here.
I'm just impressed that there was no panic when his remote failed. So nice job, Maddie Gray. All right, top White House officials met with Mexico's president to try to slow the number of immigrants seeking asylum at the southern border. That meeting comes as lawmakers are trying to pass stricter immigration law policies. Here's ABC's Justin Finch.
A crucial face-to-face meeting in Mexico's capital city. Mexico's president joining U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas for talks focused on the soaring number of migrants at the U.S.-Mexico border. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze says the administration is expected to press Mexico to do more to curb the migrant rush.
One of the White House's key points is to try to get Mexico to step up its enforcement of trying to keep more migrants in Mexico.
Both nations are tracking a migrant caravan heading for the U.S. that's reported to number as many as 6,000 people. That's on top of U.S. Customs and Border Protection reports of as many as 10,000 migrant arrests daily at the southern border. The White House largely attributing that upsurge to instability in Central and South America, while Republicans blame President Biden for not hardening U.S. immigration and asylum policies. Meanwhile, some 200 migrants arrived in New York City from Texas overnight. The nation's largest city now scrambling to shelter thousands of migrants. New York Mayor Eric Adams on the crisis.
But this is a national problem that has only been exacerbated by Governor Abbott's cruel, inhumane politics, and that requires additional national solutions.
In Washington, where Capitol Hill lawmakers remain on holiday break, sources tell ABC News 3 senators are back at the bargaining table in an effort to make progress on immigration and border security legislation. Top priorities said to include toughening migrant asylum protocols and deterring migrants from even making the journey to the U.S. To help stem the migrant flow, Mexico's president also calling for the U.S. to strengthen its ties with Cuba and Venezuela, 2 of the top countries migrants are fleeing. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
All right, anyone making minimum wage in Washington is about to get a pay bump. Coming up, why one business owner says higher pay is necessary for both customers and employees.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Those responsible for making our local roads and highways safe for winter travel would like to remind you that snow removal is an important, critical, and precise task. Please give the right-of-way to removal equipment so we can all get where we need to go quickly and safely.
Tony, your parents know you're over here again, right?
Yep.
Great.
Tony lives next door. See, his parents decided to just use their phone for home internet. So when everyone is on, Tony's over here streaming and drinking all my soda. My dog.
Get internet on the Xfinity 10G network for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract.
We're going to bed, Tony.
Good night. I'll lock up if I leave.
Get real home internet on the next generation 10G network only from Xfinity.
Andes Heating, Cooling, Electrical. Guarantees to keep your home safe and warm. Your comfort is Andes' priority. Get ready for the cold with a high-efficiency furnace from Carrier and turn to the experts. Andes offers a wide range of top-quality heating systems that are both reliable and environmentally friendly. Andes' team of experts are highly trained and experienced, so you can trust Andes to diagnose and fix any issue efficiently. Andes Heating, Cooling, Electrical. Your trusted Carrier experts since 1972.
It's time to start the new year off right in a new Toyota from Findlay Downtown Toyota. The new 2024 models are available, which means you can get the best selection now with over 100 great choices. And pick the color and package options you like best and take delivery today. And if you're looking for a certified pre-owned vehicle, we've got over 3 blocks full of great choices. So if you need a safe, reliable winter ride, you can find it at Findlay.
Rocking around the Christmas tree, let the Christmas spirit ring. Later we'll have some pumpkin pie and we'll do some caroling. You will get a sentimental feeling when you hear voices singing, let's be jolly, deck the halls with bells of holly. Rocking around the Christmas tree, let the Christmas.
Winter weather means hazardous driving conditions. If you must travel, follow these guidelines to keep everyone safe. Slow down and keep a safe following distance. Use traction tires. Give snow and emergency vehicles the right of way. Carry an emergency kit. Brought to you by Lakes, Worley, Post Falls, and Eastside Highway Districts. 4 News Now is brought to you by Revival Wellness Clinic.
Around the nation now, police in Texas believe they found the bodies of a pregnant teenager and her boyfriend who went missing last week. As of now, police have released very little information, including how the victims died, I should say. ABC's Andrea Fujii has the story.
This morning, what appears to be a tragic update in the search for a pregnant woman in Texas. The family of 18-year-old Savannah Soto says she and her boyfriend, Matthew Guerra, were found dead yesterday in a car outside a San Antonio apartment complex, 3 miles from Soto's home. But police are not yet confirming the identities of the victims.
It appears to be a very complex crime scene.
Soto, last seen near her home Friday, was 9 months pregnant and 1 week past her due date. Her family says she was scheduled to be induced at the hospital Saturday, but never showed up.
When I called her all morning, she wasn't answering. I was going straight to voicemail. And we went to the hospital anyways, and she was a no-show. And that's when I called the cops. She was so excited to have this baby. I mean, the house is already baby ready. She was so excited. She was going to be a mommy.
Officials releasing few details, also not confirming how the victims died.
But what we're looking at right now is a very, very perplexing crime scene. And detectives right now are looking at this as a possible murder. And but we don't know for sure.
Officials did say the bodies appear to have been inside the car for 3 to 4 days. According to court documents, Guerra was on probation for allegedly assaulting Soto on Christmas Day last year.
I wasn't fond of him because of when he put hands on my daughter.
The family is familiar with heartache. Soto's younger brother died in a shooting last year. Her family says Soto wanted to become a nurse. Again, police have not confirmed the victim's identity, saying the investigation continues. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
A really bizarre and sad story. We have much more coming up tonight at 6:30, including tips on what you can do now to prepare to buy a home when interest rates begin to drop. Don't go away.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
After a quick flight to the North Pole, at-risk children can experience the magic of Christmas through Fantasy Flight.
A child should have amazing and magical Christmas memories. The Spokane Fantasy Flight creates a once-in-a-lifetime adventure to the North Pole full of gifts, love, laughter, and elves.
Numerica Credit Union is honored to partner with organizations like Fantasy Flight as they work to enhance lives, fulfill dreams, and build communities.
Check out more organizations that make our community stronger at numericacu.com.
It's time for a new shower, but you don't want the hassle. You just want it done. Rebath, from start to stunning. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $750 off your tub or shower replacement.
Right now, there's just so much happening in our world. So much at stake at the start of every morning.
Making sense of it all, that's not always so easy.
And that's where we come in.
Good Morning America. We want you to know every morning.
We're right here, and we got you.
The holidays inspire us all to connect. With family, with friends, no matter what the road throws at you. So find the connection you're looking for this winter in a new SUV with standard all-wheel drive during the Mazda Season of Inspiration sales event.
Right now at Foothills Mazda, get 0% financing for 5 years and 0 down payment with approved credit on the all-wheel drive Mazda CX-5. Shop now at SpokaneMazda.com.
Get your groove on at Mystiquoi Casino Hotel Sunday, December 31st. You could win your share of over $15,000 in cash. Enjoy party favors to ring in 2024. Learn more at Mystiquoi.com.
It's time to remodel your bathroom, but you don't want the hassle. You just want it done. Rebath, from start to stunning. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,000 off your complete bathroom remodel.
Next ET before Usher rocks Super Bowl halftime.
This is a celebration of my legacy, my music, and my passion.
He's taking center stage on ET.
Hold for applause.
Next ET.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30. Expect even more from KXLY Plus. Live updates from the 4 News Now team. Breaking news as it happens. Weather every 10 minutes. Free on your time. Download the app, connect to your streaming TV, and connect on KXLY Plus. Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Washingtonians will see the highest minimum wage in the country soon. The state will increase to $16.28 per hour. That's 54 cents more than last year. And it's more than double the federal minimum wage. People have mixed feelings about the annual increase because of inflation. Peter Choi spoke to a single mom and a local business owner about what they think about the rise in minimum wage.
I do like the idea of minimum wage going up.
Jasmine Martinez has been working in a service industry for years.
I was a barista for 10 years. I've been bartending on and off for about 5.
She's also a single mom to a 10-month-old baby.
My daughter still is on formula, and she's starting to eat regular food now. So now my budget's going up for formula, food.
She says she welcomes a higher minimum wage because she relies on checks.
I rely a lot on my check because tips are never always consistent. So it's really nice to have, if my hours are guaranteed, to know what I'm going to make at the end of my pay period.
And this bookstore owner says inflation has been a major headache this year.
We saw it in a big way for like our insurance, business insurance, auto insurance, healthcare. So those are the things that really ate us up this year.
Though he thinks an increase of a minimum wage every year is necessary for both customers and employees.
People that are working here or people that work wherever have to like afford to live. They have to have a house in theory. They have to have a car. They have to be able to afford those things. And then I like them to have disposable income. They come into my stores and they can buy stuff.
A higher minimum wage could mean higher prices, but Martinez says it still outweighs her concern.
I was a barista. I know that our supplies went up shortly after minimum wage, and that's going to be the same for any other business. When one thing goes up, everything. They have to counter to compensate for their employees.
And that was Peter Choi reporting that new minimum wage goes into effect on January 1st. Now, some places in Washington have their own minimum wage laws that are even higher than required by the state. For example, on Monday, anyone in Seattle working for a company that employs more than 500 people will be paid at least $19.97 an hour. Minimum wage has been on the rise in Washington since 2016, when the minimum wage was at $9.47 an hour, with the biggest increase happening in 2017, when voters approved a measure requiring a state minimum wage of $11 an hour that would increase every year by a set amount until 2020. Now, the state's Labor and Industries Department factors in the cost of living to determine how much minimum wage should increase every year. Washington is not alone in trying to help low-income families make ends meet. 21 other states are raising minimum wage next year, with fast food workers in California getting a $4 an hour raise in April.
557,000 people at 30,000 locations. This is a big deal. $20 an hour. 80% of the workforce in these fast food places, 80% are people of color. Two-thirds are women.
But the state is already paying the consequences, with 2 large Pizza Hut franchises announcing they'll lay off 1,200 delivery drivers. According to the franchisees, the layoffs are due to a discontinuation of its delivery services, but customers aren't buying it.
I think when there is a minimum wage increase, they look for a way to mitigate costs, cut expenses.
Customers will now have to use third-party apps like DoorDash for deliveries. Chipotle and McDonald's have also announced they'll be raising prices in California to offset the higher labor costs. 20 states, including Idaho, are still at the federal minimum wage of $7.25 an hour. That number has not changed since 2009. We have some breaking news now. The mom who fell from a third-floor apartment balcony along with her 2 children in North Spokane on Christmas Day has died. According to the sheriff's office, the 2 kids, a 2-year-old and a 10-month-old, are still in the hospital receiving treatment. Investigators say it happened near an apartment complex on North Addison Street, west of Highway 395, about a mile north of Meade High School. Deputies believe the woman may have been going through a mental health crisis, saying the woman had a history of mental health issues. The sheriff's office still has not released the names of the victims. Well, despite hundreds of millions of dollars in federal aid, the numbers of bridges in Washington in poor condition continues to rise. According to the State Department of Transportation, at least 564 bridges fall into this category. Earlier this year, the DOT found 9% of the more than 400 bridges in Spokane County were in poor condition. The department saying it doesn't expect that number to go down because it's, quote, focused on reducing the rate of deterioration, not improving overall infrastructure condition. So far, the state has received about 244 of the $630 million meant to help address this issue, with officials saying a majority of which will be spent when many of the projects move to the construction phase over the next few years. Well, explosions heard today around Airway Heights were part of a training exercise on Fairchild Air Force Base. A spokesperson said ground bursts were simulating detonations. The exercise ended around 1 p.m. All right, we're going to send it over to meteorologist Matt Gray now, who's tracking some rain in the First Alert Weather Center.
That's right. Got a little bit of rain moving across our region tonight, and there it is, plain as day on live Doppler radar. Let's take a little spin around some of our regions and show you what's going on. So we've had some very, very light returns on the radar coming into places like Colville, Chewelah, and now into the Medellin Falls and Ione area. So far, this has not translated into anything falling in our valley locations, but we are seeing a little bit of much needed mountain snow here tonight. Temperatures in this area are below freezing, and so you may get a flurry or two, but if you do get any substantial periods of snowfall, it's going to be within the next hour or two, or it's not going to happen at all. We've also got some dry air between us and some of this cloud layer that in some places we're still working through. Then we have the Spokane area south to the Palouse, where things are actually wrapping up fairly quickly. We still got some rain around Colfax and Pullman, but that is pulling out of here pretty quickly. Tico, we're starting to see some heavier rain now. Southern Spokane County also starting to pick up a little bit of rain here as well. We may be seeing just a sprinkle or two now working its way into downtown Spokane, but overall, this is some pretty light stuff. not really anything to write home about. And the way things are going, you may not even have to pull out the raincoat with how quickly some of that rain has since weakened as it's working its way into our area. Either way, chance of a couple of showers here over the next few hours through about 11 o'clock tonight. After that, we'll see things calm down. Temperatures will cool off to right around freezing. Now, beyond that, we're talking about some pretty warm weather in the final days here of 2023. We'll show you how warm you could expect where you live tomorrow, and Wildlife Wednesday coming up.
All right, Matt, thank you. Idaho could have another seat in the U.S. House of Representatives by 2030. According to the Census Bureau, Idaho's population has shot up by 25,000 people. The Gem State currently has 2 representatives. If the growth stays on track, it would be awarded a 3rd seat following the 2030 census. That seat could come from states like California, which would lose 4 seats, and New York, which could lose 3 seats as people move to other parts of the country. If it happens, it would be the first time Idaho would gain a seat in more than 100 years. 4 News Now, we'll be right back.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Tin Roof.
Whatever the holidays mean to you, get the most out of them in a new Honda. Whether it's taking the gang to the slopes in an available all-wheel drive Pilot, delivering presents in a rugged Passport, or all in a few toys for yourself in a powerful Ridgeline. Your holiday adventure awaits with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Wishing you a happy and joyful holiday season from BECU.
My name is Stephen, and this is my Summit Cancer Center story. I had a large tumor in my left lung in November of 2018. We went through in 2020 doing a lot of end-of-life planning. Summit was very aggressive in my treatment of diagnosis. Since then, with my recovery, we're doing a lot of life events. I love the people there. I would recommend Summit Cancer Center. My wife calls it a miracle.
Do more together this holiday. Whatever your plans are this season, do more in a new Chevy. Use your Red Tag bonus cash to get $87.50 total cash allowance on this Silverado. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
$3 pitcher night, a couple cocktails, an edible, and a nature documentary. What do all these people have in common? A friend like you who offered a ride or made sure they got in a ride share or provided a couch to crash on. Thanks for keeping the roads a little safer tonight, Washington. Together, we get there.
The year 2023. High stakes, high emotion, high drama. Now tonight, it's the year 2023 with Robin Roberts.
I'm getting ready to kiss 2023 goodbye.
Tonight on ABC.
Well, the Federal Reserve could start to lower interest rates next year, giving many first-time homebuyers hope they can finally be able to afford a house. CNN's Cole Higgins has a look at what we can expect and tips if we're looking to buy.
After years of record prices, historically high mortgage rates, and massive market demand, some experts say sidelined first-time homebuyers could have more hope in 2024.
It's going to get cheaper going forward, but I'm not going to call it easy or less painful.
Economist Joe Brusuela says the Federal Reserve is poised to lower interest rates next year, which could make homes more affordable. According to the U.S. National Home Price Index released this week, house prices hit a new record high in October. That's when mortgage rates were above 7%, the highest levels in 23 years. That, plus historically low inventory, continued to push up home prices. So what can you do if you're looking to buy in 2024? 2024.
When you get back in the market, houses are going to come in. When there's a lot of demand, they're going to go fast. Somebody else is going to be ready to move. You want that person to be you.
Real estate investor David Green has these 4 tips. 1, improve your financial position to increase your chances of getting a better loan, like paying off debt, saving more money, and improving your credit. 2, step up your market research. Get realistic and consider what you can actually afford and what your priorities are.
You can change everything about a house except where it's located. So really prioritize the houses in the areas that work the best for you, not the houses that look the best.
3, once you get your loan approved, get your loan officer and your realtor working together. And finally, consider waiting until winter time. That's when home sales traditionally slow down, so there will be less competition. For Consumer Watch, I'm Cole Higgins.
All right, and while interest rates may soon start cooling down, temperatures are actually warming up here in the inland Northwest, which is really strange to say right before the new year.
It's such a weird situation, and we've been in it basically all month long with a few days of exceptions here and there. And it looks like it's just going to carry on into January as well. We'll show you that in your extended forecast, but let's begin with Wildlife Wednesday. Thanks to our friend Nora Jen in the Cooley Dam area. Eat your heart out, South Hill residents. Look at all of these turkeys that she ended up following as they were creating a little bit of a roadblock, a little bit of a traffic jam there in central Washington. So thanks, Nora, for sending this. She also sends us what she calls her favorite eagle couple. I'll show you this here, too. She says that they always sit very, very close to each other. I guess that's the eagle affection, as far as I know it. So thanks, Nora, for sending those. And of course, you could send your Wildlife Wednesday photos to Chris Crocker or myself through email on KXLY.com. You can look up those addresses. Let's go to our weather forecast now and why we are just going to be sitting in this kind of a very strange place where we have pretty warm conditions. We've got what's called the split flow pattern here, right? So we've got active jet stream winds to our south across California, active jet stream winds that are well up to our north and basically almost come all the way around us. So we've got high pressure ridging right over us, and that means dry weather. And it also means that it impacts the storm tracks coming off of the Pacific, where things are very active over Alaska. They will either head north or they will, well, cross California, through Nevada, and away from us. And so we're just kind of stuck in the middle here. And we got a perfect example right now. The track for this storm that's actually bringing us a few showers tonight is heading way up north, so the bulk of the moisture not headed our way, not even going to cross the Cascades. Meanwhile, our next storm here, you can see, is already set up further south. It is going to be headed to California instead of heading here. Now, that said, we will get some moisture, waves of moisture from these things from time to time, but it's just going to be kind of the leftover scraps. For an example, we'll have a small chance for a couple of sprinkles tomorrow night, but boy, that's not going to lead to much of anything, nothing to write home about. And then as we head into Saturday night into early Sunday morning, I think that's our next best chance to see a little bit of rain move through. But once again, it's going to be very brief, and it is not going to be much to write home about at all. Instead, it is going to be the warm temperatures that are really going to be leaving an impression. Our average high this time of the year is 33, and we're going to wake up to 32 in the morning. We'll be in the low 40s then in the afternoon, and some places going to be a lot warmer than that. Lewiston hits 50. We'll be in the middle and upper 40s across places on the Palouse. Pullman, St. Mary's hits 47. Kellogg hits 46. We'll be at 45 in Grand Coulee. And look at this, middle 40s. Maybe you can see a few 45s by the time we get to the afternoon across the valley here in the I-90 corridor between Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Your extended outlook, well, not a lot of changes. Just going to be mild, occasional sun, occasional clouds, and of course, you know that fog will be sticking around too.
Matt's getting tired of sounding like a broken record here.
Yes, I am.
Thank you, though.
Well, just when you thought we were safe from the transfer portal, it strikes again as the Washington State Cougars will be out without one of their top receivers come next year. Coming up in sports, we'll show you just how big of a blow this is for head coach Jake Dickert as he prepares to assemble his 2024 team.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now
Whatever your plans are this season, do more in a new Chevy. Use your Red Tag bonus cash to get $87.50 total cash allowance on this Silverado. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Did you know that Spokane Hyperbaric Center uses oxygen to reduce pain, inflammation, and swelling?
I didn't know that.
Did you know that hyperbaric oxygen therapy promotes new blood vessel growth, fights infection, and releases more stem cells from your bone marrow?
I didn't know that.
Would you like to know if Spokane Hyperbaric Center is the right choice for you? Go to hyperbarichope.com to find out.
Spokane Hyperbaric Center gave us hope. And now you know.
Tony, your parents know you're over here again, right?
Yep.
Great.
Tony lives next door. See, his parents decided to just use their phone for home internet. So when everyone is on, Tony's over here streaming and drinking all my soda.
My dog.
Get internet on the Xfinity 10G network for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract.
We're going to bed, Tony.
Good night. I'll lock up if I leave.
Get real home internet on the next generation 10G network only from Xfinity.
The after Christmas clearance is on now. This week at all Walker's Furniture locations with year-end blowout savings. For every $1,000 you spend, you save $150. Like when you spend $2,000, you save $300. Or take advantage of our no money down, no minimum purchase special financing for up to 5 years. So you can get some new furniture for the new year and pay for it later. During the after Christmas clearance at Walker's.
Get your hands up, let's go! Six is the winner of 23 awards and the most royal party on Broadway. It's an exhilarating pop rock avalanche and a total blast. A high-energy history remix 500 years in the making that speaks vibrantly to today. Six the Musical is Broadway's euphoric celebration. Six the Musical, January 23rd to the 28th at First Interstate Center for the Arts. We're Six. Get tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com.
4 News Now is brought to you by Coeur d'Alene Nissan.
Well, we are just about set to begin the second half of the college basketball season with conference play beginning around the country. But for the Gonzaga Bulldogs, they still have one more huge non-conference matchup to go before they can look ahead to WCC play. Now, the Bulldogs will welcome in last season's national runner-up, San Diego State, on Friday evening. While the Aztecs enter this game unranked with a 10-2 record, there are some areas of play that can really give Gonzaga all kinds of problem, especially with their defense. SDSU has only given up 66 points a game so far this year, which is not good news for the Bulldogs that have struggled mightily to shoot the ball to this point.
And just absolutely incredible rebounding teams. They just, will pound you on the glass if you're not ready. And so those two things need to be addressed. And again, like I was describing UConn, we've been through that twice. You get to that national championship game, there's an edge and a confidence that you bring.
The women's side, the Bulldogs are wrapped up with their non-conference play and will now have more than a week to go before their next game, but they're sitting nicely with a 13-2 record and a number 20 ranking in the country. Now, coming into the season, we knew this was going to be an offensive juggernaut, and they've backed it up by scoring more than 81 points a game. But head coach Lisa Fortier would like to see her squad improve a bit on the other side of the ball.
Continuing to focus on field goal percentage defense. I think that's an area where just guarding, we got a bunch of shooters and a bunch of scorers, and you got to convince them that we're going to score it better and shoot it better if we can stop people first. So that's one area for us for sure.
And the Washington State Cougars will get Pac-12 play started later this weekend with the Rocky Mountain stretch, but they're another squad that has looked impressive to this point with a 9-2 record that sets them up very nicely to make a deep run into conference play. And with the defense that is only giving up 62 points a game, the Cougs' goal of making the March Madness tournament is very obtainable at this point.
Goals to make the NCAA tournament, and we'll have plenty of quad 1, quad 2 opportunities in the league. The league's really good this year, and we're gonna have to step up and keep getting better. But we've got some nice pieces, and it's more the experience that we need. And
Even when you think you're safe from the transfer portal, it creeps up behind you, gives you a good shove, and then kicks you while you're down. And that's exactly what Washington State fans are feeling yet again this month, as the portal claims yet another player, this time in the form of wide receiver Kyle Williams. According to reports, the junior will be transferring yet again. Williams started his career with UNLV before coming to WSU this past season and had an immediate impact for the Cougs, becoming the team's third leading receiver with 61 catches for 842 yards and 6 touchdowns. Williams will have 1 more year of eligibility left. Of course, the big name we're still waiting on is the quarterback, Cam Ward, and where he's going to be going. We know that he's had visits at Florida State and Miami and Ohio State, but it's just prolonged at this point. But the next couple weeks, we should be figuring out where he's going.
Yeah, it's surprising that we haven't heard that news from him as of yet. Alex, thank you so much. Well, if you find yourself with a special gift that's just not right for you, now is the time to return it. But the thought of going to a shipper and waiting in those lines to send items back is tough. So this year, Uber and DoorDash are making that daunting task easier. In Uber's new Return a Package feature, a driver can drop your packages at UPS, FedEx, or the post office. It costs $5 a trip for up to 5 packages. DoorDash is also getting in the returns game with free package pickup and delivery to a shipping company for all users through December 30th. An easy return and one less errand to run.
With returns, it's another hassle for consumers today, and what we offer is that time savings.
Okay, I just got a notification that the driver has returned the package, and he even took a copy of a receipt.
An easy return again, and with one less errand to run. All right, here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Cash in this holiday season at Spokane Tribe Casino in the Winter Wonderland Cash Drawings. Win your share of more than $57,000 in cash every Saturday in December. Only at Spokane Tribe Casino. You just win here.
Whatever your plans are this season, do more in a new Chevy. Or qualified lessees can get this Equinox for around $239 a month. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
This is not just laundry. This is laundry that's one and done. This is the ultra-fast combo laundry machine that does both washing and drying cycles. This is revolutionizing laundry. This is GE Profile.
Fred's has the GE Profile one and done laundry machine in stock and on sale for only $24.99. Fred's Appliance. We sell appliances, only appliances.
One of my favorite programs is the People Helping People program.
Any BECU member can nominate a nonprofit that they care about.
We are so appreciative of BECU and their support for our program. One of our parents, who also happens to work here, was able to nominate us. Our service of the community really aligns well with BECU.
Last year, we gave away 3 grants in Spokane. This year, we're slated to give away $525,000.
Thanks to BECU, we are able to meet the needs of more families.
3, 2, 1. The new year is here, and that means it's time to jump into the gym and get those New Year's resolutions going to do more in 2024. Let's go! Lose some inches.
Drop a few pounds. Get stronger.
Whatever your goals are, Move Fitness has the staff, trainers, and facilities to get the job done. Plus, you can enroll now for just $24. So what are you waiting for? Hurry down to a Move Fitness near you.
Cash in this holiday season at Spokane Tribe Casino in the Winter Wonderland Cash Drawings. Win your share of more than $57,000 in cash every Saturday in December. Only at Spokane Tribe Casino. You just win here.
4 News Now is brought to you by Andy's Heating, Cooling, Electrical.
All right, coming up tonight on Nightside, Spokane gained a new mayor and a new city council member. A look at the words and performances at the swearing-in ceremony tonight. And a push to delay demolition of the house where 4 University of Idaho students were killed, while the family of one of those victims says it's still too early.
And we'll be keeping an eye on the radar, where we're starting to see some showers push their way into Metro Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. So a little bit of light rain moving through the valley area. We're also along the shores of Lake Coeur d'Alene, likely going to see a little bit of heavier rain, as you can see on your screen here, move in over the next 30 minutes. So off and on showers, nothing too crazy, and things will start to wrap up after midnight.
But eventful, given what we've been dealing with in our weather systems lately.
Well, you know, it's eventful compared to nothing, which is exactly what we're seeing a lot.
All right, we'll all be back at nights at 11 o'clock. We hope you'll join us then.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.